Top of the morning to everybody. Welcome to Cultivating Conversations. I am your host, Anthony Moore, and we curate cultivating conversations for the culture. We have a special guest today. A lot of you know her. Some of you may not. But by the end of it, we all going to be family. You understand what I'm saying? This is my sister, the one, the only, the heavy with the whip. You know what I'm talking about? Baking soda. I got baking soda. You know what I'm saying? Monica Neville's in the building of Faith and Neville's Catering. How you doing, sister?
How you doing, brother? Thank you.
Good to see you. Good to see you. Hey, listen. Like I said with Miss Bonita Reed, listen, man, we got people who are doing dope things for the culture, and we need people to know about those people.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So let me just, we got to get in the fun facts, Jack, in a second, but let me just tell people how I grew to know this loving soul. So, singing in the choir, of course. She singing her butt off with the altos. She dancing. She doing all that stuff. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. She. What's your little soror?
Zeta.
Yeah.
So beta,
you can't stop her from strutting and doing all that stuff when she want to. You know what I'm saying? And she doing it with the best of them. You understand? 100%. But I remember it was 1 year in particular where there was no family for me as far as like cooking, and sometimes I just be kind of ducked off, and so I didn't really want to stretch myself too thin to go hit 2 or 3 different houses. Y'all know how that could be when you going to see family for the holidays. It could feel like you had another work day. Yeah. But I remember she had put in the group me. She was like, "Hey, anybody that ain't got no food, y'all can pull up." Hey. And I was like, So you got food, huh? And I pulled up. I don't even, what year was that? You remember the year?
Oh, man, it has been like probably around 2018.
Maybe, yeah, somewhere around there. Somewhere around there.
Yeah.
And I ain't left since. I ain't stopped eating since. And, I've had the pleasure of seeing her grow her business and do it with love and do it with excellence. And so all y'all who watching, please stay tapped in, and I hope that we can get to some dope things that could help, spread awareness about her business, about the person. This platform is never just going to be about money. It's going to be about the person, the heart behind it, and so that's what we're going to do. So look, now I got to give me some fancy cue cards and whatnot, but we ain't there yet. You know what I'm saying? Come through, Jesus. But so this is the thing. One more thing before we get into fun facts, Jack. There's a growing legend that when you came out, you was already cooking eggs and crawfish, little shrimp etouffee.
Yeah, I've always cooked like that. My mom, she raised her 3 girls, but out of the 3, I was more interested in the kitchen. And
probably was the best one.
I was burning stuff back then.
Oh, dang. Okay. Never mind.
I wasn't making the stuff top notch now.
Okay. Yeah.
I would burn cookies and everything. I was burning
How you burn cookies?
I was burning everything.
She said I burned cookies. Good Lord.
Trying to try stuff myself. She was like, "Monica, wait on me." I'd be like, "I don't want to wait on you."
I got it. I got it. Let me do what I do.
But I was hard headed. But I did. I tried everything.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, we finna get into it now. Now, this segment is called Fun Facts, Jack.
Okay.
Now, this is where we determine if you weird or not. Now, this is 5 questions I come up with. I've customized them. There's not a set person that'll get the same 5 questions every time. I really try to come off the dome with it because I think I'm smart or whatever. Yeah. But Fun Facts, Jack. So this is the first question. Favorite dish to make all time? Could be dessert. Could be an entree, don't matter. Favorite dish to make all time.
Favorite dish to make is the combination of the 2. And everybody knows I like to make them look real pretty. Are those heart-shaped waffles with that chicken, that fried chicken. So my chicken and waffles is like my signature look. Mm-hmm. Nobody does waffles like mine. They not heart-shaped.
See, she did.
I do heart-shaped waffles. They be like, "Oh, they're so cute." I be like, "Yeah, I know."
Let me be clear. She gonna get on your nerves. You understand what I'm saying? Because she gonna put a little extra razzmatazz on it. You know what I'm saying? But the heart. Now I will say this: I had never seen anybody do heart-shaped waffles with the multicolors and things like that. Super dope. Let me take y'all back to the early birth of my 3-year-old Ava, who came out, the baby disappointed me. She just had scales coming off of her like the blind man in the Bible when she was born. Because she was a month early. She's supposed to come April 8th, I believe. I mean, no, I'm sorry, August 8th, but she came July 8th. And so the baby wasn't supposed to be at the baby shower, but she was. And I just remember kept trying to put lotion and oils on the baby. She was just shedding everywhere. But that part ain't neither here nor there. She gonna bring me one little old thing of syrup to the function. Conjunction, what's your function? I was like, come on now.
Ever since then, I started putting Schaefer next to the waffles.
Now so I sparked something.
You sparked something.
Come on, Jesus. That's what I'm talking about. So chicken and heart-shaped waffles. That's the dish.
That's my favorite all time to make.
That is super surprising to me, though.
Make it look good.
Because you do so much.
Yeah.
And you and in bulk and all of that. So it's like, I would think that something like that would be the simple thing that you would be like, nah, that's easy. I like to like you like, nah, I do this, but it's certain reasons that it attaches to you as well.
It's the heart shape, it's the love that I put into the waffle.
All right. Love. Least favorite dish to make?
Etouffee.
Really?
Because you can't travel with it. If you traveling with some type of seafood, sometimes it just spoils real fast. I'm really, really careful about the etouffee. When I make it, when I show up to the function, it's usually cold now because it has spoiled on me. Yes. Going to an event.
You know where I learned that from? Was from gumbo. My old spiritual father would make gumbo, and he was saying he was like, you leave it to cool. Yeah. But then you got to put it up because of the. And I was like, "What you mean?"
And that's with any seafood dish. That's in it. You have to learn how to temper your stuff.
Now, is it because of the roux? Is it because of the base? Like, what is it? I'm trying to act like I know what I'm talking about.
It's because it's the seafood itself. The seafood itself fast. Gumbo spoils really fast, especially when you sit it on the stove for a long period of time.
Yeah, you got to put that gumbo up.
You got to put that gumbo up and dip out of it.
Yeah.
And then warm it up in the microwave.
Yeah, man. Now this ain't got nothing to do with the price of tea in China. But when you talk about making a gumbo, now, me personally, I like to put my rice on the inside of the gumbo, let it soak up in there, get all them juices and berries in there. How you do yours? Because some people say you're supposed to eat it on the side.
I actually, when I make my big pans of gumbo, it comes with rice. You do what you want to do. Because I'm not a rice eater with my gumbo.
Really?
I like the...
I ain't gonna lie, y'all. You know I said when I started we gonna see if she weird. That's a little weird not to put it on the side or in it. Come on now. Don't do me like that.
That was something I did when I was growing up.
Okay.
Never put rice with my gumbo. I always liked it.
Well, see, I'm not a corn person. My whole life I think corn is one of the most disgusting things.
That say don't put corn in mine. I'd be like, cool.
No, if you put it in there, I'll smash it. Long as that base all over that thing, saturated in the spirit of the gumbo, I'm good with it. But it's like just by itself or cream corn, you got to be a sick, demented psychopath to like cream corn. Let me just tell you that. Why?
You don't like cream corn?
Wow. Do I like to go to the bathroom? What are we talking about here? Absolutely not. Okay. Favorite movie and why? Now, the other night, we just watched Boomerang and we watched Vampire in Brooklyn. Two of my favorite movies, hands down. But tell me your number. If you had to pick one you could watch every day, and tell me why.
Ooh, wee.
Mm-hmm. Even the fun questions be...
Because me and Billy watch a lot of movies.
Oh, multitude.
A multitude. And I don't even have a favorite.
They watch them. They make them.
Shut up.
That's a story for another time.
That's another time.
And that ain't y'all. Whatever.
We like movies. We were movie watchers. Like just the other night, I think I went to sleep on it though. They was doing too much killing, but John Wick. Man,
the new one?
Oh my God, it was so much blood.
I can't get into them.
I can't
get into the John Wicks.
I always liked all John Wicks, but like this one just didn't do it for me because it was the same thing.
Yeah.
But movies, I am a lover type movie. Somebody meeting and falling in love.
Shout out to Love Jones, my favorite one.
It's chick flicks is what I call them. I like chick flicks. I like chick flicks where, people meeting each other, falling
like The
in
Notebook.
Love. Yes.
What a stupid movie, by the way. Hold on. Can we just talk about how stupid The Notebook was? I ain't never, and I'm sorry. I love everybody. If I ever loved you, I still got love for you. But if I got to remind you every day when we 79 of who I am and how we fell in love, and you had a little moment and you, and then I got to do it all over again, and then I got to die right next to your cold corpse, I'll pass.
You are so wrong for that.
That's a stupid movie. The Notebook is the dumbest movie ever.
I
But
love all chick flicks.
let me say this. Every time I bring up Love Jones, I got to put this out there. I'm sorry. No, this is a show about the guests. I am the real life. There is love all. Go ahead. Keep going. Keep going. All right. So anyway, you a chick flick.
I'm a chick flick.
So you just going to give me a genre. You ain't going
along with that, and action packed. Mm-hmm. Like I love Red.
What is Red?
Red is with what is his name? Oh my goodness, I can't think of Bruce Willis. I think that's his name. And all of them they are on there. They are like secret. I like to see movies like Denzel Washington and Equalizer.
Yeah. It's funny, I just saw that they got another one coming. Denzel, at some point, Denzel ain't gonna be able to lift his hands to do a karate move. Denzel look like Jesus is like saying, "Hey, brother, we don't got much time left."
But can I tell you my all-time actor?
Sure.
So like any movie that he plays in is a favorite movie. I love Jamie Foxx.
Jamie Foxx, you know.
I know.
Yeah.
I'm following it. Trust me.
Man, Jamie Foxx, we hope you get, like, he's actually my favorite as well.
He is my
the best entertainer
favorite.
ever.
Yes.
Singer,
Yes.
songwriter,
Yes.
I mean, actor. I mean, he could do it all, man. So,
And
man.
comedy too.
Absolutely.
I've been watching him since In Living Color, coming out the foxhole.
Mary, Mary, cried
Yes.
contrary. How did your garden grow?
I love Jamie Foxx, everything about him.
So she gave us genres. She gave us a person, some people. She couldn't give us just like a woman. You know, they do what they want.
Whatever.
Okay. If you could go anywhere in the world, where would it be? One place.
I have wanted to visit Paris. I do want to see it.
Niggas in Paris, huh?
I do want to see Paris. I can see anything in the United States. Like I can go and do that, but like, because we're currently making trips. You know,
Absolutely.
my daughter is about to graduate from high school.
Shout out Faith.
Yeah,
Shout out Faith.
And me and B already got plans to just move about.
Yes,
And just see
I'm with
things
that.
and be with each other and just see things.
Now it's free to see the world.
Yes.
Come on now.
But Paris is my favorite place. I want to see what it looks like.
I'm with that. Okay, last one. Scariest moment in your entire life where you was just like, am I gonna go, Lord? Or I don't know. Scariest moment ever.
No. So my scariest moment, is it pertaining to me myself?
You yourself. Or it could be, well, you know what? It could be something you saw too. It don't gotta just be that. We can make it super general, super broad.
Okay. So scariest moment would be I'm gonna be honest with you. My divorce.
Ooh.
It's a very scary moment.
Ooh, tell me why.
It was just because it's something that you never encountered before. Nothing you've never been through. If you've never been through a divorce and you don't know the outcome of it, that is a scary moment. Like, what am I supposed to do after this?
Yes.
How is life going to be different for me? Will this person still be there to help me with the child that we've made? All of these questions just come about. Like, why did I waste my time? It's just a bunch of stuff.
Absolutely.
A bunch of feelings that come about. So for me, my stomach was always in a knot. And it was a trying moment for me. I cried about it a lot. It was just rough. But I got past it.
It's interesting because one of the things that always stuck out to me is when I heard somebody say, I can't remember who it was, but they said, divorce is worse than actual death. And they said, because when you die a spiritual death in divorce, you still have to deal with it. You're literally tearing the two souls apart. And y'all still have to interact, or, you still have to live with the results of what happened. But when somebody dies, it's final. So I'm like, man, that ain't good, but it's good.
And not only that, but you do go through a grieving stage. Even if that person is alive and well, there's still a grieving from the action tearing apart.
Right.
you grieve that.
Absolutely.
You miss that person in some ways, and in some ways you don't.
Yeah. And you know what? That's a great point, because I tell somebody, you could be in a marriage 12 years. Y'all could have had the worst, the ups and downs, but it's like, but you still shared time and good and space and laughs with a person. And so it is a duality of, I hate you in a sense, but I love you too. You get what I'm saying? Like, it ain't really like, it's like, I hate some things about you, but I still do have a love for you. It's hard to you could be in prison with somebody for 30 years and be like, bruh, if they died or they got out or you got out, it's like, bro, but you shared moments with people. Yeah. And that's what matters at the end of your life. So it's like, it's hard not to reflect on those things and them have an impact on you, especially divorcing.
But you have to, I'm going to be honest with you, forgiveness has to happen.
Absolutely.
In order to be able to move forward. And that's what, it wasn't hard. It was hard for me, and it wasn't hard for me because I went through a lot in the situation. But at the end of the day, in order to move forward, you got to just let go and let God. You got to just let it go and let God, because you have to ultimately say to yourself, He is in control.
Right.
Whatever happens is going to happen. You have to just let it go and let God move out the way and just let God do His work. And I'm going to be honest with you, when you moved out the way and did my work, when I moved out the way and He did my work, I ended up happily married for 10 years.
Come on, somebody.
I've been with somebody for 12 now. I'm happily married.
Nah, that's what's up. That's what's up. Shout out to Billy. You know what I'm saying? That's my, that's bro. Okay, so let's move this thing along. Tell me about the inception of Monica Nevels. Where you started. Where you from? Where'd you get your ideals? You know what I'm saying?
You're looking at a country girl.
Come on now.
Surprising. Backwoods.
What's the city?
Lake Providence, Louisiana.
Lake Providence. Lake Prov.
I often would argue with my husband. Like, he's like, it's so small, but y'all ain't got that many stoplights. And I was like, we got 4. And
right.
He's like,
how many?
I didn't see 4, baby. I didn't see 4.
It's the fact though. It's 4 of them. You like, well, most cities got 45,000 of them.
But then I got on Instagram and I emailed I text somebody. I was like, how many stoplights do we have? And they was like, oh, we ain't got but 2. I was like,
oh, you gassing.
Oh, okay.
You gassing for the city. You gonna put on for the city and lie.
And so, having to come from, it's a humble beginning, because Lake Providence is love. Everybody in our town knows everyone. So that upbringing with food, we always would get together for that.
Yes.
And my mom was that one.
Yeah.
Everybody coming to the house. I mean, I was like, Mama, why are you cooking so much? People going to be coming over, baby. They're going to be coming to eat. So she was always cooking with big pots for a multitude of people. People would just come and get plates.
Yeah.
And they would come and sit and be family. They were family.
Yeah.
So everybody in Lake Providence, I do consider a family. I watch them I'm not there, but I do watch them on Instagram. I'm proud. In Facebook, and proud of whatever is going on there, because that is my upbringing. That is home. I not born there, born in Monroe, but raised up in a humble city. And you could say, at one point it was considered as the poorest city in the nation.
Dang.
But we have so many talented people walking from out of there, you wouldn't have never known it. So when somebody says Lake Providence, Louisiana, you'd be like, really?
Who is the rappers that's from there?
No rappers from there. I remember they had Mystical at the prison at one point. That wasn't
what I was referring to, but okay. You're like, well, he didn't stay there, but he stopped by.
I don't think we have any rappers from Lake
Okay,
Providence. Not rappers. But, there are a lot
Somebody, where's UGK from? Where's UGK from? Somebody tap in and let me know. I'm gonna put this up as a clip so we can find out. But and then speaking of that, I don't want to skip over this. Now she said they left a place. She ain't had no place when she came in here. Amen. But it's cool. No, it's cool though. It's fine. It's fine. No, but going back though, yes I do. But going back to the Lake Providence, I remember you did an event there.
Yes, I did.
And kind of tell me about what that was like to go back and give back to the city, because you didn't charge what you could, and you blessed the people. Tell me about that experience itself.
It was a very humbling experience. I loved it. And I do plan to do it again, because people got a chance. They've been watching me on the on social media, and when they're looking at my stuff, they're like, "Oh, I'll be glad when you come home. I'll be glad when you come home." So I was like, "Okay, then let's see." And I only charged them food charges,
right?
Food costs, because I wanted to make sure that I had enough food for everybody. But man, they come and they ate, and I did 2 sessions. I did a brunch, and then I turned around and did dinner.
That's dope.
And they loved it. I had some people buying tickets. They was there for both of them.
Yeah.
And so, people were eating. At one point, I was doing cheesecakes. I went home and I dropped the price for the cheesecakes and took some cheesecakes home so that people would be able to, taste the food, not just be looking at it all the time. They already know that it's good. And so, and I wanted, at this time at the event, I wanted them to give them the full service.
Yes.
I wanted them to see what it was like to enjoy Faith and Neville's catering.
Absolutely.
And I brought servers home. Had servers home. My daddy was walking around there with serving drinks. It was funny. And so he was very proud of me, and I loved the fact that I could go home and do that. It did make my dad very proud.
Right. And
then it made a couple of more other people that reared me up, that helped in my growing. It made them very proud as well. And I was happy for them to come and actually see me, see that I haven't changed, and see that I'm still the same genuine person that I've always been. I don't change like that. I don't care how much money you make or what you're doing in life. You always have to remember where you're coming from.
It's interesting you say that because, well, first of all, it's dope because, when you talk about being the poorest city, it doesn't mean that it automatically becomes the richest, because you get people who are super talented that come from it. So those people may not even be able to travel to Arlington to get food. You know what I'm saying? Exactly. So it's that aspect. But then that whole other thing about not changing, it's like so many times we like to go back to the hood and show stuff and prove stuff to people, but it's the heart that you're doing it in, because certain circumstances don't lend for success. Right. It's like, you can go back and you be in the hood, you shooting dice and and you get shot, or, or it's drugs, and it can, depending on what your profession is too, it can set you up for failure. But to go give your talent back, you know what I'm saying? Give your gift back. That's where that's the right vein to do something in, to contribute. You know what I'm saying? So that's super dope. So we kind of,
I did it twice in 1 year.
Yeah.
Because I threw my daddy a birthday party, and that one was totally free. So people were coming to just taste the food, and I was like, come to Daddy's party.
What's his name again?
I call my daddy Shotgun.
Shotgun. Don't judge. Now that's just it. I just knew it was something you know what I'm saying? I was like, what is that name again?
Willie Jackson, but everybody call him Shotgun.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what's up though. But so now tell me about the inceptions of Faith and Neville's.
So when it comes to Faith and Neville's, it's about the caring part for me, caring about the integrity of the business by giving them something they could get. I try to be as affordable as possible without trying to not overcharge or to also, shortchange myself.
Let me stop you. Take me back to college.
Oh.
Yeah. That's where I want you to start at. Because you just told us at the beginning you was burning stuff.
Yeah, but
somewhere it connected.
In college, I was the girl.
That's what I'm saying.
In the hallways.
Tell me about that.
They already knew I was gonna make a good plate for them.
How did they find that out?
My sorority sisters were just like, "What we gonna eat tonight?" I was like, "Shoot, let's go to the grocery store.
Right, let's go make groceries.
Let's go make groceries.
Let's go make groceries." Well, y'all talk so crazy.
It's turned into an everyday thing. I remember the first dish I made for those girls, my sorors, was a taco dish my mom taught me how to make, and I still make it to this day.
Don't think I ever had it.
Yeah, you haven't.
Okay.
But we're going to have to. Okay, great.
Okay.
And so, okay, great. And so the taco dish, Doritos with the ground beef, which you could substitute for turkey beef, because I've done it now here recently, and then tomato paste and corn and all of that stuff, and that cheese, and I layered it. And Lord, I'm telling you, I had one soror, she was like, I need that corner right there. It was all gone. It was all gone. And my Sarah Coretta, shout out to number 7.
Oh, Lord. Shout out to number 7. That's my rock. Who's the rock? You know what I'm saying?
But she would, she always talks about that one dish, and she still talks about it to this day. And then they talk about, my sorority sister, one of them was like, I'm having this guy over. I'm going to need you to cook it, but I don't want him to know that I didn't cook
some of the first bait and switches. Then that man then committed based off of your blessings.
Yes.
Then she at the house talking about, baby, you want some sandwiches? Be like, girl, get out of my face.
And so, helping out my girls like that is what we did. That's what I do. I always have loved to cook. And my mom, she knew that I didn't like to eat at the calf. It's calf food. I just didn't like to.
Some of us, we took pride in old calf. That old calf was a food.
It was all right, but if you could do it, burn in your room yourself, you don't need the calf.
That's true. That's very true. That's true.
And I had a refrigerator that had a top and a bottom.
Yeah, I was frying them noodles up in that room. That's about as...
We talking about frying pork chops now. We ain't talking about...
Touche.
Yeah. So like, you're not supposed to have a hot plate, but then you put that in the thing when you're done with it.
You had a hot plate in there.
Yeah, you have a hot plate.
So did you start charging people at any point?
I never charged nobody in college for food. Never charged. I love to cook. And that's how you began to start eating. I was just cooking for you for free. I had no problem. Yeah. I have no problem with feeding people. That's why I've tried, like I said, to make sure that the prices are affordable. I also bring about a certain type of flair by not just giving you good food, but making it look good.
Yeah, come on now.
Because I'm going to decorate a table.
Absolutely.
I'm going to give.
Come on, runners.
I'm going to get runners.
Come on, runners.
Linens.
Come on now. Come on, shapers.
I'm going to give you the 100% of what I can do because I just love to do it.
Absolutely.
That's who I am. You'll never see my work just thrown together.
Right.
It takes time to make something look immaculate or beautiful, and I love a beautiful setting.
Yeah. Takes time to be great.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Takes time to be great. Absolutely. And when you can give it to them for free.
Yeah. Listen, that's a message to the people. Like, stop initially trying to charge for what you're great at. Like, give it out. Most of the time, stuff that people game they give out on Instagram, those same people will come back and pay for it to sit down and hear it, because if it's good enough, people are going to want to pay you for it.
I'm going to go as far as to say when I first started my business, I was doing it for the no pay at all. Mm-hmm. I only was getting the cost of the food.
Yeah.
There was no profit being made in the beginning. Mm-hmm. I would like, okay, this food cost this how much? Yes. And I would do that. But then if I needed to throw in a little bit of extra change to make it look good, I did that.
Absolutely.
And it wasn't no problem to me because I am trying to show you what I can do. I am trying to give you what God has given me.
Absolutely.
This is my gift. And I know that God is going to increase it.
Absolutely.
And I was not worried about in the beginning. I did maybe 4 or 5, maybe I could think about 7 events for free. And you do it until somebody starts wanting to pay you for it. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? And when it got to that point, I was like, you'll pay me? Really? You would?
Yeah. But see, that makes me think about the scripture that says, the blessings of the Lord make rich and add no sorrow to it.
Listen.
That's exactly what that is.
When I started looking at some of my tables and how I wasn't pleased, I was like, I got to fix that problem. And I talked to my mom about it, and I talked to my mother-in-law about it, and those women went in together. My husband's mom and my mom went in together to sow a seed into my business. I never thought they would sow a seed in buying beautiful Schaefers, and I also Ubered for some of them.
Come on now.
Listen,
come on with the Uber ministry.
And I had a full-time job working for the state, but everybody know that state money don't pay like you want it to pay. You know what I'm saying?
Well, come on, loans paid off.
Yeah.
Come on, somebody.
Now, loans is paid off.
Yeah. That's worth it.
But, I stayed there for that 10 years so I can have that happen. And you know that for a fact.
Absolutely.
But,
Absolutely.
the thing about sowing seeds into your business to make your stuff look good, that's you just pouring into it.
Absolutely.
You're pour into it. And I would tell anybody, pour into it until it looks the way you want it to look. Pour into it. You know, I'm proud of my brother here. His setup is very beautiful, very nice. And I always encourage him, pour into it until it does what you want it to do.
Absolutely.
Until you looks the way now I look at my tables versus how they used to look, and I'd be like, oh, wow, I can't believe I am doing something like that now. I can't believe that it looks like that now. That's something to be proud of. And I'm a very humble person. But if there was a problem with a setup, I knew it and you didn't know it.
Right.
And I'm mad at myself because because I'm anal. So like just talking and making sure, you know, pressing forward to making sure that your stuff look good, that you're pouring into your own business. Now, I would never even think that I would pour into it so much that I would be able to even quit my job. When and I followed protocol.
Right.
Because it wasn't like I was like, oh, I'm doing this. Oh, I'm going to quit.
Right.
It wasn't like that.
That's our generation. I ain't going to lie to you.
That's not how that go. And so, like, you have to remember, I'm married.
Right.
So, with my husband, if it had not been for his okay, I wouldn't have never quit my job. It had to been something that was agreed upon with the two of us, not just me being like, oh, I'm doing great things. Because there was 3 times I wanted to quit. And every time he looked at me twice and told me no. Yeah. And I had to take that. And they had no problem with it.
Be careful now. You about to upset somebody.
Hey, it is what it is.
You about to upset somebody now. You saying your husband, you trust your husband
he said no.
To kind of lead that way a little bit?
He told me to wait. And this is the thing. His no's meant something. Yeah. And behind it, I reaped the benefit.
Okay.
And it wasn't like his no. He thinks, and he's the money man. I just don't, he's the money man. Yeah. He money wise, he thinks. So like, when it comes to that, I trust him. Billy pay bills. I don't do that.
Hey man, shout out to the man over there taking care of business. But so how have you used food to minister to people?
Oh my God. So a lot of people don't know. Because it's not something that I always tell people. It's not something that I always just be like, oh, I fed. I don't necessarily do that. Right. But when I give you food, most of the time, most other folks don't know it. Right. Or when I bless the family, people don't know about it. Because if people I'll be honest with you, people find out you giving out stuff for free. You know how that is. You know
everybody got a story.
Now everybody wants some. You know what I'm saying? But, I can go back to just this past Thanksgiving. Just this past Thanksgiving and for Christmas. Both of these holidays. So, as for instance, like for Christmas, my mom was like, she called me on the phone. I had told her, I said, I'm looking for a family to bless for Thanksgiving. Something, and I do it every year.
I don't even think I knew that.
And I do it on the cool. I'm looking for a family to bless this Thanksgiving. I stopped doing it for don't do it for show.
Yeah, absolutely.
Don't do it for show. Do it because it's just something that you want to do. You just want to bless somebody. You know what I'm saying? God has blessed you to be a blessing. Then be a blessing without people knowing about it. Nobody needs to know who all you fed. And I don't even know the people I fed for Thanksgiving. Not even. I never knew their name. I still don't know his name to today. But all I know is that my mom was like, I got a family for you. You said you was looking for one. I said, yes, ma'am. She said, there's a man that works here. His wife is going through it. She's blind and she needs a liver transplant and they're suffering. And I said, say no more. Right. I said, what it is you want me to do? She said, I'll get all the information for you. And I said, yes, ma'am. And then she called me, Mama called me back. She said, I got what you need. And let me tell you what to make. I was like, Mama. She said, make that chicken you make, put that sauce on it, make them some. I want you to make them. You know how I told you how to make them, the dressing. So make sure you cook it right and make them that green beans with the smoked turkey and go ahead on and make them some of them cute dessert cups.
Man, let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. Rest in heaven, the mama, she could sell water to a river, man.
Yes,
that would talk you into some stuff now in a good way, but it's like, Monica be like, don't you, now you take her? I'm like, she get up there, hey, baby, can you? I'm like, yes, ma'am.
I told you not
40 minutes, you be like, oh, come on, mama, where you at now?
Mama was Walmart fan. She loved to just sit there and look at people. But, being back to that being a blessing doesn't mean, the ministry in that. When I did the delivery, my mom called me and she was like, he don't even know where it came from. And he ain't never see your face.
It's a blessing.
But he was really, really happy. And they ate for days off of that food. And then for Christmas, my mom's birthday was Christmas Day. So Christmas Day, you would think that families would visit their loved ones in the home. And my mom was in a home that she picked out for herself. She loved it. And I never necessarily liked her to stay in home for holidays and stuff. She's supposed to be at home with me.
Right.
But this time, because I knew that she was having problems and complications, we decided to take the party to her for Christmas. But I said, I'm not going to cook enough just for us. I'm going to cook enough for everybody.
Right.
So by the time the party was over with, all the nurses that was there on call have eaten.
Yeah.
Everybody that was that had a room inside the building had something to eat. And I was happy that I made enough, and I still had something, and I left the rest of it for them to munch on the rest of the day for the next
couple days.
The
next shift.
Next shift.
Okay, next shift.
That evening shift. And so, like, for me, that stuff makes me feel good. That had nothing to do with, you could not never, ever know.
Right.
I intentionally did that on purpose, made more than enough.
So let me ask you this. How did you maneuver through the tough times when things weren't just popping like talking about?
Ooh, that comes back to saying that, I had the other job that, I just kind of like just kept steady going on with it. I'm not going to say that it wasn't a struggle, though, because, looked like the count, money wasn't coming in from it.
Yeah.
It sometimes looked like a waste of time. I even told Tangela a couple times I quit. And Tangela was like, no, you can't.
Right.
You love this.
Yeah.
This is what you love to do. My husband wouldn't let me quit. My mama wouldn't let me quit. And you wouldn't let me quit. I had people around me that just wouldn't let me quit. And as soon as I would say I quit, you get phone calls. And it was like God saying, I ain't going to let you quit neither. He go this phone call for you. They calling for you.
So what were the things that you ran into? Was it people haggling you over prices, not being able to feed a certain amount of crowds, you just wasn't getting enough inquiries?
Somebody called me one time, I need you to feed 200 people off of $1,000. So your worth is not even being expressed enough. When you've seen the work and you've tasted it, sometimes you just be like, and it goes back to say, something Pastor said to me years ago. Everybody ain't going to be your customer.
Right.
Everybody is not a Faith and Neville's customer. So I'm not going to shortchange myself in worth or in business. Now, this is business. Now, this ain't got nothing to do with just being a blessing. And when I'm trying to start something, and I have people working for me, how am I supposed to pay my people off of that?
Right.
I have people working for me. I have people standing in the gap for me, serving. And I find myself now, I'm standing off at a wedding on the side. When I used to be the server at my own situation, now I don't have to do that no more. God is faithful. He grew my business to that point. But how am I supposed to pay my people that's working for me if you're not paying me the full cost, I need to pay them. You want plates, cups, and silverware. You want all this lavish stuff, but you don't want to pay the worth, and that's not fair.
And we know that that's true now. We know how that is. We want a lot for a little.
Yeah.
A lot of time. I'm going to say we. I ain't saying I be doing that because she know I won't even ask. I'm like, if I really need something done, I'm like, I'll pay you. You ain't got to worry about me. I'm going to pay you. And don't try to cut me on the price. Now, if you offer, I'll take it. But I ain't going to ask for it myself. Yeah. You see what I'm saying?
And I throw discounts in there, especially when I know that, it's a certain budget, or I'll show you where your budget is at, and we will negotiate prices. And I don't have a problem with negotiations. But don't look at me and tell me I don't feel like I need to be paying that much.
Right. And I've heard you even recently when we went to what was the spot we went to? Razoo's.
Yeah.
And it's like when people start telling you a budget, your mind automatically starts tabulating. You're like, well, I'll tell you what I could do. You could get this and you can get that. Boom, boom, boom. It'll feed this many people. So tell me about how, did you have any mentor? Did you have somebody to kind of help give you the game on pricing? How have you learned?
Let me tell you this right here. Before Cornelia, before I became a full-blown member there, I belonged to a church, a First Missionary Baptist Church off of Miller Avenue. And my mom...
I think that's my family's church that they still go to this day.
My mom was the cook at that church. A lot of people don't know, but during that time when my mom was there, every pastor anniversary and every church anniversary, my mom was behind the scene.
Yeah.
And they named her the best cook in the church. They bought her a robe and everything. She was the top chef at the church. And I was right there standing right next to her helping her. And my mom would say, will you donate? Because I had the job and she was living with me. Will you donate some money to buy nice dishes and silverware to make this look good? And I always would tell her yes. I couldn't say no to my mom. It was sad. I couldn't say no to my mom. It was so sad.
It'd be like that. It'd be like that.
And so, when Pastor Charlie Singleton, rest his soul, is an amazing pastor. He always had a beautiful setting for the pastors and their wives in the back that my mom would create and transform this room to make it look kind of like what I do right now. So everything that I'm doing right now is an everyday reminder of where I got it from.
That's what I was going to say. It sounds like you had a front row seat and primary example of how to do things, and not just do them cool or just it tastes good, but to be decent and in order in execution. She
always made sure there was more than enough.
Yeah.
She always made sure that you need to cook this much to make sure it's feeding this many people. So my front row seats didn't come from a mentor. It came straight from my mama. Straight up.
Yeah.
She knew how much fruit to cut up.
Yeah. 2
or 3 platters. 3 and 4 pans of this one item. 2 or 3 more pans for this one item. Y'all only give me 1 pan of baked beans. That ain't gonna be enough. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I need some more baked beans. I need some more corn. Yeah. And so, she would get with the other people in the church, and they would all put their money together to make that happen. So she wasn't operating on how much money she could get paid for it. She was operating on how much money they could give her to buy food only. That was it.
Yeah.
So the front row seating was watching her do it. It has become my why.
And
I refuse to let it die.
And I say this, that's missing in a lot of areas of life, not just in business, not just in what you see, what you saw from your mom. Is not enough people that is just their makeup to be an example that they gonna see that thing through, and they're gonna operate in excellence, and they're gonna give game to the generation after them. That's just a rarity, and that's a to me, I think that's a charge to anybody watching that has children, that has a business, that has somebody. It's been somebody that's been in your email or been, hey bro, I love to learn from you, sit down with you. It's super important to give back in that regard, because Mama was a special woman. And don't do it.
I'm not.
Hold it together.
I'm good.
But it's a beautiful thing to hear.
Yeah. And when I give homage to her in more ways than one, she was a strong sister that raised good women. We all cook and clean up and make sure the home is inviting for other people. That's what she put in. She put in all of her girls. Yeah. She had one boy and all girls, and he's a good man too. You know, he's a good man too. He loved mama. And so, like, you know, I could say a lot about that, but I'm not, because I know what this is about.
No, I got you.
But, you know, she just was that one for me. Yeah. There would never be nothing else like her.
That's how I feel about my granny. I'm like, listen, it was a one Dorothy Louise, man.
It was one BJ.
Yeah.
Everybody know her as Barbara Gray, but her whole life she was Barbara Jackson, and there was one BJ. There was only one.
So tell me, what's been the biggest lesson you've learned in life, in business, in ministry? If you could culminate those things, what is the biggest lesson that you've learned?
Really not to stress on small stuff.
That's really a mouthful, being a little bit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I don't let a lot of stuff bother me anymore, because life is too short. Yeah. If it's apology that need to be done, do it. Yeah. Because you don't know when you're gonna see that person again. I am on the stretch now of just learning how to live life in its fullness with less stress as possible. Yeah. Because that stuff does things to your heart. It does things to your mindset. You just have to go on and just live life to its fullness. And if you can do it, do it. And if you can't, don't worry about it. Like right now, like I stressed to you last night, I know that I am a private chef, is what it's considered as when you're cooking, your food from home. But God blessed me with a house that had a big enough kitchen to cook everything that I want. Do I want a building where I don't have to cook in my kitchen? Yes, I do. But I will see it through. I'm going to continue to move until the moves that I'm making will make more room for me.
Amen.
I have to keep going. It's not now it's not an option, because I don't have another job to stress about. I only have this baby right here.
Yeah.
This is the baby that I'm working on. And I will continue to grow my baby until it's birthed through. When you see the building with Faith and Neville's, I'm going to say, recognize it. It was hard work and dedication. It was hard work and nothing. And then not only that, but you would know this one thing too, that it was nothing but God that made it happen.
Come on.
These are God moves. Everything that you're doing in life, I consider him to do. Because if there was a move that need to be made, there would not be a move that need to be made unless he made it happen. He has the final say on everything. So when it's time to move my feet and do other things, I do rely on him quite a bit for the moves that needs to be made. When people call me from out of town, I get excited. I get real excited, because
she has traveled.
That's travel, and that's more room for me. I done been to Broken Bow during a wedding. I done been like Lake Providence. I've even driven way far out of Texas, a little bit closer to Army bases, just to do a dinner for two for a couple that him and his wife were going crazy to have me there. About 3-4 hour drive. I don't mind traveling.
Yeah. But see, that's the dope thing that I take from it, is that when you have something that you love, those things, they're just labors of love. It's not even about the money. It's like, I want my money now. I want my ducats. Give me all my shillings. You know what I'm saying? But it's like, at the same time, to see the expression on somebody's face, you know, to see the repost and the appreciation, it touches you in a different way.
I love to look at, I'm a people watcher. People eating my food. I'm that grandmama that sat in the corner. You like that, don't you?
Yep.
You
she
know that.
Definitely like that.
I love to watch people eat my food
and hold on now. Let me tell y'all. She says she humble, but that's her flex.
Yeah.
She be like, brother, I went and did this, and then that woman told me that there was nothing left. They scraped the plate clean. I'm like, that's a humble flex. You're letting us know that they were very satisfied and pleased, ma'am. So it's not that you're not humble, but it's like you still let them know that people love your food. They love what you do, which is dope.
It's very dope. Like, I do calls like customers. I call them back after the event. I do that all the time. I'll ask them questions. Is there anything that I did that could have been different? Because I treat everything as a learning experience. I'm trying to grow this thing.
Absolutely.
You get what I'm saying? So you have to call and see. Was you mad about this? Or did you not like the taste of that? And all I hear sometimes, everything was great. Yeah. I don't know what this great. I don't know what you're looking for.
Everything was great.
The setup was beautiful. Everything was great. But you could tell the setup. And I love it when I start doing the setup and I'm putting it out there and I'm not even finished, but they already snapping their camera, taking pictures of it. I love that. I love that you're standing behind me going, can I get my pictures now? I'm like, wait a minute.
Right, just let me finish now. RT said work now. But let me ask you this. What would be the apex? Give me as detailed as you can what the apex of your private chef catering business would look like for Faith and Neville's.
Oh my God. So like in a dream. In a dream. It would be a catering building with a full kitchen in it. And I have room and space for an event if they so choose to use the event space for their event. And we're cooking and making sure that they have everything they need. Have you ever seen I don't know, most people haven't seen it, Waxahachie Civic Center? Yeah. You see how huge it is? Not that big, but something like it. Because their kitchen is everything.
Listen.
They got the biggest kitchen with the nicest stove. I know because I've been in there cooking.
Listen, this is what I know. This is what I do know. Joseph was a drink. You understand me? And things come to pass. Like sometimes, and I ain't talking about to put it in the atmosphere stuff either. I'm saying we trust in the God we serve. We do the work, and He provides the increase. Yeah. And so I do believe that there is something out there for you that's going to blow your mind.
Not only that, but I want to keep my people. I want my same folks. And I always tell I got people working for me scale that's my age and on down, and they're in high school. But these young women, when you watch them come behind me, shout out to Faith, Nia B, shout out to Demi, Phyllis, Alex, and all these people, they have gifts inside of them of decorating that they did not know that they have. So when I watch them do a table and I'm pleased, I'm looking, you did that. Yeah. Baby, you did that. You know, they have like Nia didn't even know she could do a full dessert table by herself. But when Nia did the dessert table just this past Christmas at Concord Church, that thing was so pretty. I was snapping like I had done it. It was everything.
That's what passing it down looks like, though. Yes, and faith. You're literally embodying what Mama did. It's a beautiful thing. I'm serious. That's what I'm telling you, man. Not to be morbid, but we all got an expiration date, and you want to leave something behind that matters. And leaving your very soul and your core of who you were and putting that in other people and being that infectious thing. Yes. I'm telling you, man, like that's what matters. And the increase will always come. The money will always come. The fame, the notoriety, the interviews, that'll come. But just
keep doing.
Have the people in mind.
That's right.
Yeah, for sure.
I love my crew. You know, they know how to do things. And this past March was a hard month. When I lost Mom. Absolutely. And then I had events that were on schedule that needed to be carried out, because I do believe that if you've paid me your price, you paid me the money, I need to do the work, and it's got to be carried out because I don't look out to disappoint anybody.
Come on, integrity.
I don't want to disappoint anybody by not showing up. But when I showed up for one wedding, I remembered the mother and the daughter were waiting on me with flowers. And they were very sweet about it. But my crew was so in full effect that after the work I had done was done, my daughter literally looked at me and said, "Mama, move out the way and go and have moments." Yeah. And I walked away from my crowd, and I walked away in tears. Yeah. And I was there doing the work, and they knew it. They knew when I had stared off by myself what was going on with me. Yeah. But my crew got my back. Yeah. And they going to watch it to the fullest. They going to make sure everything is carried out just as I was there. You know, and my husband was there.
That's what I was going to say. Hold on. Let me say this. Shout out to Billy and shout out to Faith, because I've seen them serve without ceasing to make sure that she could get where she was trying to go as she has been building. And shout out to, she going to feel some type of way if she don't be mentioned. Shout out to Tangela, sister. We love you.
We love you, girl.
Your little sassy self. We love you. And we've all served at a time or two. You know what I'm saying? I have. I'm not saying I've always been as available.
He did it for free.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? But you know what, man?
To help me build. He did. Him and Tangela did it for free and did not charge me a dime when I first got started.
Yes.
And did not get paid. They were there serving, having fun.
Had a great time.
Laughing.
Because when it's about your people, when you realize it ain't about you and it's about a vision coming to be birthed, you would be a selfish individual to not want to see somebody around you win. You know what I'm saying? And so it's also about identifying your people too. You should have people that you want or that you pull up and it's like, I don't worry about it, I got you. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Now if I'm hurting now, I'll let you know. But nah, just playing. But nah, for real though, it is about that though. Taking care of your people.
People that love me, that's like, you don't even have to pay me.
Oh, and sis.
I work for food.
and sis done pulled up and served too. Yes. And was out there getting on the dance floor.
My sister, Welena.
Yeah.
She has been there. I started off with little of nothing, and I would tell them, I can't pay you nothing. They'd be like, it's cool. Just give me a plate. I'm good.
We'll work for food. You understand me?
And so, that's a humble beginning for me. Yeah. Having people that saw your dream and they wanted, they were a part of your dream without any recognition behind it.
Yes.
I love you for that.
Oh, say less. Say less. So listen. Let's get to a few things before we wrap it up. Yeah. What would you say to somebody that needed a word to get them through? I know you said something earlier, but I want you to go completely not in another direction per se, but just give me something else that somebody may need right now, and you were the person that it was destined to give them that word to get them through to the other side.
I have a favorite scripture, and it is my all-time favorite, and I often tell people that if I was to die and pass away, remember I told you first that Romans 8:28 is very true, that all things work together, and it does include bad, that includes moments that were sad. All of it ain't gonna be pretty. Yeah. Life is not a crystal staff for a lot of people. Yeah. But you have to keep pressing and know that God is in control of it all. Because all things, if you love him, connect yourself with a Bible teaching church and connect yourself with him so that he will do the work in you. He is in control. He will make sure that everything that needs to be done is carried out. So Romans 8:28, all things work together for the good of those that love the Lord, that are called according to his purpose. If you believe that, and that's true to you, then you know that if I get a divorce, then I can still live life afterwards.
Right. Yeah.
You get right. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. That's where I learned it at.
Yeah.
That's why I learned it at. In my tough moments, that's why I had to depend on right there. Or if you lose a car, he'll give you something a little bit better than what you have. Because I believe anything that God removes, he replaces with something better, fit for the journey.
Come on.
Pastor said that years ago, and I was stuck to me for years. Whatever God removes, he replaces with something better fit for the journey. And everything that's right now in your life could be bad or it could be worse.
Right.
But you have to always remember just to continue to lean on his understanding.
Yeah.
And we don't know his ways. We don't know how he is and his thinking.
Right.
But he is in the future preparing you what's going on right now in the present.
Right.
So, like, you might not know why it's happening now, but you will soon understand later why it's happening how it's happening. Just always remember that. That's what I would say.
So, the last thing, this is what I call keep it real with somebody.
Okay.
Get something off your chest.
Ooh.
This could be business. This could be a gripe you've had. It don't matter. You could be talking to somebody directly, or you could be talking in general. Okay. But I want you to get something off your chest. Keep it real right now. This is what we be missing.
In business, if a person is a person that's in business and you know that's what they're trying to do, then when you call upon them to get their services, stop thinking that just because you know them, that you have to understand I do this for a living now. Yeah. I do this for a living now. It's not like it when I had my other job and I was able to, supplement for whatever.
Right.
This is my everyday life, my everyday job now. Stop looking for discounts. Don't do that. If I didn't offer it to you, then don't look for it. And not only that, but allow me to treat you how I would treat a regular customer for business. And if you see that it's that I'm not being mean or I'm carrying it out in business-wise, business sense, then let it carry out. Because I always have been the type of person, I'm a little extra. Everybody knows it.
Yeah.
I'm extra. There's some things you're going to see at your event that you may not even know nothing about. There'll be some extra food there that you're like, I didn't even order that, but she made it just to make sure.
Right.
This, that, and the third. I pride myself on making sure that everybody is full. So if you had let me say this. If you had a chicken plate and it was chicken, green beans, macaroni and cheese for the wedding, let's say that that's your wedding dish. If I feel like they still going to be hungry, you might look up and see a whole pan of chicken tetrazzini there that you didn't even ask for.
Right.
Because they may be like, what kind of pasta is that? I'm still a little bit hungry. Let me see if I can get some of that.
Yeah.
I am not a type of person that's going to be trying to get everything out of you. I've heard prices as far as $75 a plate. I think that's kind of steep. Me, be honest with you,
that's a little.
That's a little bit.
Michael
much.
Jordan and them in there. What was going on now?
What are you cooking?
Yeah, exactly. A bunch of quail, golden quail in there.
What are you cooking? But stop trying to look for a person's just because you know a person. Because I'm very soft-hearted. I'm very soft-hearted. I fed a lot of people.
She'll cry in a minute.
And I'm a crybaby for real. And so but I have fed a lot of people without anything, without any money behind it. But in business, when I'm trying to do a service for you, don't shortchange nobody. Stop doing that. Stop trying to shortchange me and the worth that, the work that I can do and that I will do for you. I don't even have... I'm still to this day, and it's a humble flex. I'm going to be honest with you.
We know it.
I still have 5 stars on my page.
Oh, yeah.
I've not had a bad review yet.
And I don't want nobody to go out there trying to test it.
And I hope
I'm going to be the first.
I hope you don't be like that.
People ignorant like that.
Yeah.
Challenge accepted.
I hope you don't be like that, but at the same time, I'm treating everybody the same.
Yeah.
I'm treating everybody the same. This person that you're seeing on the camera right now is the same person that my clients are talking to when they sit around my table for a tasting.
Yeah.
Or when they sit around when I go and do a setup with them. And when at the end of the event, they usually hugging me and they calling me family or Auntie Monica or Mama Monica. I'll be like, why you calling me that?
Yeah.
Because because the relationship has been built. I'm a relationship builder. So, but don't try to shortchange people just because you know their heart is good and soft and everything.
Yeah.
Don't do that.
Okay.
That'll be something I get off my chest.
Okay. Well, listen, I'm about to close him out, but I want to say before I do, I want to say thank you. I appreciate you for pulling up. This has been awesome.
Thank you for having me.
I hope you felt comfortable and, it was fun for you.
It was.
Tell the people where they can reach you at.
So, with Faith and Neville's Catering, I don't like DMs, but I do respond to them. But I do have a website. It's www.faithandnevillescatering.com. You fill out an inquiry, and I've been known to be really quick with answering those, especially since this is an everyday life for me.
Right.
So I try to be really, really fast in calling you back. Or, you can simply call me on the phone. I've had people to text me. My number, my business line is 682-554-2449. Let me say that again. 682-554-2449. You could call me. We could discuss your catering needs, and we'll see if I can help you. Most of my dates for Saturdays are gone. Graduation.
It's
July,
like that.
June. I don't have no
Yeah.
availability on a Saturday. But during the week, you can get me.
Yeah. Most
of my Saturday dates are gone for the year, but
she ain't no joke now.
Yeah, I think my next Saturday date is available in September.
Wow.
Yep. So, I thank God for the people that support my business. People that I don't even know are really fans of mine, and I didn't even know who they were fans, and I didn't even know I had fans till one lady, she was going crazy.
Yeah.
Saw me in public. Oh, so nice. I was like, don't do that to me.
Yeah.
Don't do that. Calm down.
Treat you like your old superstar.
No, I'm not a superstar. I'm saying I do like to just be my same humble self. I'll never change. My head is very level. I'm a believer of this. When your head get too big, God has a way.
Bring it down now.
Bring it down.
Same thing, make it laugh, make it cry.
Yes, indeed. And my mama has always said that I was her. I'm gonna say this, and Lena don't get mad at me, but she's always said I was the most humble child that she had.
I'm gonna put this out there. That's what Mama said. You can't. Don't be mad at me. That's what Mama said.
Mama used to say that to me.
You so crazy. And just like that, you have watched another episode of Cultivating Conversations, where we curate cultivating conversations for the culture. I want to thank my guest, my sister, Monica Nevels. I appreciate you, y'all. And be sure to go check out the links below and go check out social media and reach out to her for all your catering needs. I am your host once again, Anthony Moore. And listen, life is hard enough. Everybody's just living. So please don't just live elevated. Till next time, I love you. May the Lord keep you. We'll see you next week. Peace.